Welcome to Caution Flag Contemplations podcast, a racing show by the fans for the fans. Welcome into this week's episode of the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast with your host, Casper the Most. It's a great week here on the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. We got us a special guest, first ever three-way here on the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. Y'all pull your heads out of the gutter. Welcome into D-Wat, JP here as usual. D-Wat, he's a podcast superstar. This is like his debut on the crappiest podcast he's ever been on. So hopefully he'll be able to, stick with us and not leave. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what y'all been up to today? Anything good?
Oh, working.
That's
about it.
How many yards you have to mow today, D-Wat?
I mowed 2, have to work. So I got to work at 5, and then I mowed 2. Now I'm doing
5. What time did you get home last night?
9:45.
Hey, that's pretty good, honestly. I mean, I don't know. Me and D-Wat made the trip up to Bristol Motor Speedway yesterday. Old D-Wat's got some stories. We're going to give him basically an interview to start off this podcast. I didn't put in the notes because we got a lot of questions, things we need to cover in his life. And then we're going to get into some other bull crap, and then we'll move on from there. But we did make it up to Bristol for the Kyle Larson domination.
Ass whooping, baby.
Ass whooping. If there is a definition of ass whooping in NASCAR, that was it. I'm pretty sure. I wanted to look right here. I think this page has the race time on it. Apparently not. I guess not. I was really trying to find the race time. This race was like the fastest daggum race I've ever been to in my entire life. Okay, the results were at 5:52 Eastern. That race started at 3:08 Eastern.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're talking, under 3 hours, I guess? So,
Yeah.
It was absolutely the fastest race I've ever been to. But, anyways, all right, D-Wat, let's talk about your week. So, for those of you who don't know, my boy here got married about a week ago, and I talked about it on the podcast last week. JP, I said they might listen on the way back from the honeymoon.
Yeah, I heard that
They did. They did listen.
Yeah. I heard.
Was it you listen or both y'all listen, to clarify?
I was listening, and she may have been
Like,
sleeping.
was it on the car? Or was it in their headphones, or how'd you play
It was on the car.
Oh, yeah, she heard it. Perfect.
Yeah, car audio.
Congratulations, Katie. Anyways, yeah, so they did listen, and he did call me, I think, pretty much right after. I didn't answer because I was nose deep in a Hummer. But talked to him later, and I was like, oh, wow, they actually did listen, so I nailed it. So anyways, so you had a honeymoon there last week, and let's talk about some things that you did specifically related to this racing podcast. So,
All right.
I'm the judge here. Did you or did you not go to Five Flags Speedway on the last night of your honeymoon?
Friday night was the last night, and we went to Five Flags Speedway.
And you're still married.
Yeah. Still married.
Oh, my gosh. Woo!
And I didn't really know what was going on until we were drinking beer at my house the night before the wedding.
Yeah.
For not racing. And then it was brought to my attention that they were racing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was, I think I told JP, not on the show, but we're like over there. It's like, I don't know, midnight 30, and like had a couple beers for the wedding night. And he's like, yeah, I think we're maybe going to go look at Five Flags or something. He's like, I don't think they're racing. I was like, I don't know. Let me look it up. After 6 beers. And then I was like, oh no, they got super late models, $20 a ticket. You're going. And then I was like, I was joking, because if I did that with my wife, whew,
Hot water.
it'd be a bad time. But anyways, so I was like, do not do that. Like the next day at the wedding, I was like, hey, I was joking. Do not go. I got back to JP's, and I was talking to my dad, and I was like, oh God, I've started a real problem. He was like, what? And I was like, I told him there's a race. He's like, oh God, he's going to go. And I was like, yeah, probably. And he's like, tell him not to do that. It's a terrible idea. And then you did it, got away with it. You're still married on Monday. So
New track number 34.
holy crap.
Oh, wow.
So do you keep the dirt and asphalt together as a total? Or do you have like a spreadsheet?
I have a little spreadsheet. I keep the NASCAR kind of together and the dirt.
Yeah.
And the one drag race I went to. But I believe 34.
That's pretty good.
That's quite a bit.
Went to a lot of dirt, way more dirt, but
Yeah.
recently went to some different tracks with NASCAR with Nashville recently, and
Yeah.
so it's mostly dirt. But it's probably like 20 plus dirt, 25 dirt, and then the rest fills in with.
Yeah.
It's
I'm glad you've kept that over the years because like
Yeah.
I was trying to go back and figure out what all the tracks I've been to and like make a list, and I got to around 20 something and quit. And like
It's
you've been to
pretty
some
fun,
tracks I
remember.
didn't go to,
Yeah.
but clearly we've been to a lot together. But there's some you went to I didn't go to, and some I went to you didn't go to. But
Right.
I know like back in the day when you were out there on the Twitter reporting
Yeah,
for an awesome website that's been rebranded and it's still an awesome website. Shout out to them over there. But yeah, when you were doing all that, I remember you were all over the place, like staying at Hampton Inns, getting
Yeah.
that free continental breakfast, absolutely getting your money's worth every time
absolutely.
back in the day. So yeah, you've been to a lot of places. So like this was your first short track asphalt experience. So for me and JP, what was like? Give us like the top 3 differences between that and what you see like at a weekly dirt show.
This asphalt I went to all the top 3 got trophies. So if you got the top 3 in the feature, you got a trophy, which
Yeah.
we don't
But-
see that in dirt at all.
Yeah.
There was no souvenirs out back. There was no fan zone. I went by the track on Tuesday to walk around and kind of get a little quick tour of it. She said they didn't have the T-shirts in yet, and they only had a souvenir trailer that they sold stuff out of. So that was closed up. I thought everything else was kind of similar with the pit, with the gate to get in. It was kind of just like a dirt track gate. I guess I did see that most people get there later because they qualify and then they feature. There's no heat races in the one, at least that night I went to. There was no B mains or anything. I think they started 19 or 20. But they sound different. They definitely sound almost like kind of like an airplane or something. It's just they just
That spool baby.
yeah. It was unique. The noise was different. The smell was kind of a little bit different, but it had that race. And at least for me, it had that race aroma, or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. So I enjoyed that. I always enjoy that part of going to the races. Is the smell. I like it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, JP, just because you might would know because you're a nerd. I'm curious. Like, clearly, this is a fan podcast for those of you, so don't judge. But I'm just asking, what do they run different fuel in asphalt? Do you know? Have no idea.
Possibly.
I have no idea.
I'm
You know,
not
whenever we
so
watch
sure.
crate races, everybody's running what E85 for a crate race
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
So I don't know what. I have no idea what they run. And that E85 in a crate race, that stuff right there gets this boy right here worked up, son. Worked up.
yeah.
Oh, when the crates come out, that's my favorite part of the night. So, yeah, I don't know. It looks cool. I was looking because I was curious. So, sneak peek, you told me about this trophy thing yesterday on the way back from Bristol or on the way up there. And I was thinking about it. I started thinking about sometimes when we had like special shows at 411, like when they had that crate, or you remember they had that crate thing they did like twice? It was like 6 races or something. And they had like trophies they gave away that were like Tennessee homemade wine crates or something
Yeah.
like that. So they have trophies, but you're right, like top 3. Not really. I mean, if there's something special, which, you know, it says this is they called it the Blizzard 100 or something like that, from what I
Yeah.
remember when we were looking it up. But definitely interesting they didn't have that. I thought it was cool. You also, one thing you told me was that they were running the next night, or on Saturday somewhere at, what'd you say, Mobile or something like that, Montgomery.
Mobile. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mobile. Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. I see that they have the Blizzard Series races. Appear to be like a series they have. It looks like it's about 3 races, some kind of mini point series. So.
I think if you win that series, then you lock in. To
Oh, yeah.
That's what I kept hearing a lot about the snowball and a lot about
Okay.
win the points. Then you're locked in as a guaranteed starter, so that takes the stress off. of
Okay.
trying
Yeah,
to
that makes sense. Now that you say that, I remember them always talking about, like, if you race down there, you can lock into the snowball out of 100 or whatever cars show up for that. So that's cool. Well, I mean,
Also, it was cool to see some names that I see on Twitter or X. Nasty was there and Pollard was there. Some guys that I hear about, but I've never seen personally. So that was unique. So when I got there, I was just kind of looking around the pits and seeing if any names that I recognized or cars. And then So it was pretty sweet to see those guys, but they didn't have their souvenir haulers with them. I would have bought a Bubba shirt, but
Yeah, you're not buying a nasty shirt, are you?
no, no.
I don't even know what it is about the guy. I don't even watch Asphalt that
No.
much, but something about him, I'm just like, no.
I don't know.
I don't
I just see it on X or whatever, and then
Yeah.
That's that's all good. Everybody's can have their opinion, I guess.
I guess my last question would be like pit difference. So like if I go to a Lucas race, I mean, getting in the pits is like they don't care. Is it? I mean, they pit in the infield there. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's both. I believe it's both because I saw cars coming out from the backside. They have it's something kind of like at Boyd's how the wall kind of opens up and you just so you park in the infield. It was paved. I think it was paved and it had some grass to it, and then you can park out back. I didn't see a lot of fans in the pit pass there. I didn't see many fans in the pits.
Yeah.
I
was curious.
Mostly in the stands, and then I guess like fan wise, it was more older people. I thought that were coming.
That's fair. I mean, we see a lot of old guys at dirt tracks too, but asphalt. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would love to go to asphalt. You know, like Newport, they're having their race this weekend, Saturday. Probably looking like I'm not going to go. What sucks to me about that is they're running against Tazewell Speedway in their biggest race of the year, which kind of sucks. 2 tracks, 2 hours apart from each other, running both their biggest shows. That's kind of tough. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to get to an asphalt track, whether Kingsport or Newport, sometime this year. So we'll see what happens there. But good report back. I guess if I try it, we'll let you know. So yeah, I guess that about wraps it up kind of on your trip. Anything else we need to know about your trip?
No.
Did you get a bushwhacker?
I got a bushwhacker.
Oh yeah.
I got a bushwhacker.
JP don't even know.
Just had some good seafood, and it was good weather. Went to saw some baseball games and all that good stuff. So it was just, we thought it was a good place to go for different events, and we did what she wanted to do with the zoo and some state parks and the lighthouse, and we stayed busy all from Monday. It was our traveling day, so we got there like lunchtime and.
Yeah, you had to wait all the way till Friday to watch my daggone podcast.
And then
That's good, man. I'm glad y'all had a good time. I wish y'all many years of happiness. And I think it's really cool that you got to go to a race on your honeymoon.
Yeah.
I think I think it'd be a bad time for me if I did that. So I'm happy for you. I'm glad you survived. I love my wife very much, but it'd be a bad time.
I guess going back to think about it, I mean, we went to Nashville together in Bristol, so she's been Talladega, so she's been to a couple, so she kind of.
I've seen her there. I mean, I have seen her there, so I'll give her that. But anyways, all right. Moving on to the Knoxville, Tennessee area. As you can see, I'm not wearing a racing hat today. JP's got his Hendrick Motorsports hat on. He must be happy his boy won. You got a little Eldora action. I got this tee right here, Power Tee, because is that an RC car?
Yes.
What was it, $3,500?
No, it was like 200 something. But
You better start saving
like
that
20
money.
mile an hour.
I heard you're going to be buying a house pretty soon. You better start saving some money. Anyways, back up Tennessee. We're going to talk football for just a second. JP probably doesn't care. But at the end of the day, I got to wear this hat today because I got to support my homies. Neyland Stadium's about 5 miles from my house. Nico, I'm a bitch, just left. He's gone. We don't care. See you, bye. And nothing matters more than a power tee, according to my coach, Josh Heupel. Just want to let everybody know. Highlighted this whole situation. If you, and I hate soccer, if you go to One Knock Soccer to their game and you take a Nico jersey, they will give you a free soccer jersey in exchange for that, which I think is fantastic. We saw some Nico jerseys for sale at Bristol yesterday, and they were marked down about $3 a piece. So I thought about getting a couple to burn, but, I didn't want to go full LeBron James on it. But just want to let everybody know we're still about this power tee right here. And come October, August, we're ready to kick somebody's butt. So Syracuse thinks they're the orange. They're going to learn in Atlanta, and one of these quarterbacks will work out. All right, moving on from that. Nobody cares about football. This is a racing podcast. All right. Cars Tour. All right. This kind of crap I saw. I'll hit a couple, let y'all hit a couple. I watched Cars Tour Saturday night. Saturday was like a daggum freaking, I know you were, D-Wat, you were traveling home there, but like it was a absolute March Madness type day for racing. I don't know what JP did. He was probably on a date. I don't know. But you had Xfinity, Bristol, you had World Outlaws, you had Lucas essentially at Lucasville Speedway is unsanctioned race, but it's essentially Lucas Series because they got to get ready for going back. You had the Cars Tour. It was a good night there on Saturday night. So I got a lot of stuff to watch because the Bristol race ended pretty early in the day. But anyways, I watched the Cars Tour race. Just a couple quick notes on that. We're not going to break down the Cars Tour race, but they do that pro race first, and somehow they turn like a freaking 90-lap pro late model race into 2 hours. They had this one wreck at the beginning that like stacked up 15 cars. I mean, no joke. And they just kept stacking them up from there on. And, you know, they got done with that one. I ended up going to Food City to prepare for our trip to Bristol for the Food City 500. I made a TikTok about that. It's got a pretty good amount of views, so thanks to y'all for watching that. But be sure to like and subscribe there as well. So, yeah, I don't know. But I came back, watched Dale Jr. running at Cordeal Motor Speedway, which is pretty cool. They got that watermelon patch and all that crap in the back. Somehow, they're worse than the Xfinity Series at Martinsville, though. I mean, I don't really understand how. Like the last... So 30 laps to go in the Cars Tour race. Illini 100 starts. And somehow they finished the Illini 100 before they finished the Cars Tour race, which was a 50-lap or 60-lap late model race on dirt. And it had 2 cautions, and they still outran them. That's how many cautions they had. These boys are running out of gas with 10 to go in the Cars Tour race. So that was wild. Still want to go to the Cars Tour race, maybe Hickory. They're paying. I was talking to somebody today, and they were informing me that apparently – he was like all jacked up, like, dude, they're paying $50,000 to win. Oh my gosh! And I'm like, I mean, Dirt's probably gonna do that like 10 times this year.
Yeah.
Probably more than 10, honestly. So he's like, what? I was like, yeah, but he's not really a Dirt guy. And I was like, yeah, I've been telling you to run a crate late model. Quit being a pansy. But anyways, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Congratulations to Connor Hall getting the win in the 88 car, according to JP. D-Wat, you don't know this, but if you run a Cars Tour and you're in a junior motorsports car and you lose, you really should just retire, right?
Exactly. That's a fact. Proven fact.
That Connor Hall kid, you know, I've watched Cars Tour over the last couple of years. He's driven for a couple different teams, and good to see him running good, getting wins. And I think he'll make it up Xfinity. I think we'll see him probably at Bristol in the Xfinity car here probably next year, honestly, depending exactly how the junior motorsport stuff works out. But I think he's the next Josh Berry more than likely, so we'll see how that goes. The only other highlight I had is Tony Stewart wins the 4-wide Nationals at Las Vegas. Top Fuel Dragster, I think, is the one it was. So he's now – I was looking at a list of Tony Stewart's accomplishments, boys. He's the original Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
He's run it all. I mean, IndyCar, sprint cars, NASCAR every series. He's running drag shit now. I mean, it's USAC, all of it. He's done it all. So, gotta love Tony. Sad he's kind of left NASCAR, but gotta be happy for him getting all those wins. So, I don't know. What'd y'all see over the weekend? Anything good on the X, Twitter, Facebook, scrolling?
I'm just glad Ethan Dotson finally won a national race. I've been rooting for that boy since he's been ripping around in that modified, and I'm glad he won a big one.
I saw that tire did not hit the crew guy. I thought it did at the racetrack yesterday, but
Dude.
So I saw the video on it. It was
Yeah.
the X.
If that tire changer would have been a half a second slower, he would have been dead.
Yeah.
That tire was absolutely cooking, and he would have been squashed like a grape on the back of that car.
Yeah, so JP, me and D-Wat were sitting on the back stretch there, which where they were pitting at, and I seen that tire come rolling down pit road, and I'm like, whoa, 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 slapping the shoulder, and I saw that tire bounce off, and we had no idea if it hit the guy or not, but I didn't see an ambulance rolling, so I assumed it didn't. That thing was moving, dog. That video, I saw the same one you're talking about, like the overhead from the pit box or whatever. Yeah, that was wild. If that thing didn't tighten up, if they would have been a half step slower getting in the box, like that dude. That's what? How much do that tire weighs? Like 100 pound, 90 pound,
like that. But just the speed.
Serious.
35 up on the back of the car, like.
In an awkward position, it's kind of like football. You know, you can't hit a quarterback low. That's where it would have hit him at. And God forbid something happens, somebody get hurt severely. But that would have been sketchy. So glad that worked out. Nobody got hurt. It was definitely sketch watching it, and that was about the only exciting part of the race. So at least we had that going, I guess. But other than that, no Dear Dentist today. I decided we're not going to have a Dear Dentist segment. I've been wearing that out. But I will say this. I was gonna buy a Dennis shirt up there at Bristol.
Your turn. They didn't sell them though.
I had a witness. I walked over to the hauler to buy a Progressive Dennis Hamlin shirt. They did not have any for sale. They don't have them online yet either. I looked today. I don't know if it's the tariffs got them backed up. I don't know what kind of excuses they're using, but he should have T-shirts for Progressive now. There is one race win T-shirt from Martinsville you can buy on NASCAR.com, but I don't want that. I want like a uniform shirt. So whenever they get some out, I'll probably get one. They'll probably make an appearance later in the year when he wins championship and retires. I guess we'll see what happens
win
there.
That championship.
I don't know, bro. He's running good, but we'll see. But here's the funny thing. So we counted. Was it 5? I think I had 5 Denny Hamlin shirts in the trailer. Essentially, none of them with a sponsor because they didn't have a sponsor to start the year. So they just had like 5 shirts. And they had like one that had sport clips on the car, but like not like a sponsor type shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was very odd as far as that goes. What did you buy? What kind of shirt did you buy?
Tanner Gray. Tanner Gray.
He's a Toyota fan now. Just in case you're curious.
Oh, Lord.
All the he keeps getting wrecked at Martinsville. These last 2 years, he's had that famous Martinsville a half-mile walk getting interviewed on the way to go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Go talk to either the winner or go talk to
Yeah.
a little chow wow. But so anyway, I saw it online. I want to get one of them. And then it's just a big front T-shirt, but I said, I'll get it. They got that, some stickers, some Blaney.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, they got the Blaney stuff.
Hey, listen, I bought a Ross Chastain shirt
and
hat. I got the Melon Man hat, and I got a like Busch Light Ross Chastain black shirt, which is pretty cool. I'm sure that'll make a debut on the podcast at some point. Also, right on the way in the racetrack, I made a slightly intoxicated purchase, and I gave a girl $20 for one of these American flag cowboy hats. So, and then I tried to put it on with my headset. Like it wouldn't fit down. JP got the picture.
Yeah,
I looked pretty dumb. But yeah, that was a good time. I had a great time going through all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right, into the dirt racing for the weekend. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Bulls Gap got rained out. It was a little suspect to me, to be honest, boys. I live in Knoxville. There wasn't that much rain. I don't know if the threat of rain was going to have all the drivers going and they were afraid of having a bad car count. But yeah, they went ahead and rained that out on like Wednesday or Thursday. Pretty early in the week, they canceled it. It's unfortunate. Hope to see them get back in action before the Scott Blomqvist Memorial, which, D-Wat, I don't know if we told you, but we're trying to start a campaign for Christopher Bell versus Kyle Larson. Dirt late models, Bulls Gap. We're going to be there. It's going to be huge. No tariffs on the T-shirts. It's going to be huge. We want Pierce. We want a Pierce car for Bell.
Okay.
Larson and the Rumley machine. You know, Pierce has already got Toyota hookup, so we figured maybe that'll work out. And, you know, Kyle Larson getting Kevin Rumley on Longhorn and smoke him. Apparently everybody runs Longhorn now, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, anyways, getting into the 2 biggest races, I guess, World Outlaws, Illini 100 at Farmer City. First thing we're going to talk about, well, we'll talk about Friday first. Did you see Overton's flip, fellers?
That was wild.
Oh my God.
That thing rolled crazy.
Was that in qualifying?
I think it was.
I think it was in qualifying.
He just went over the berm and it just
that
took
black
off on
dirt,
him.
dude. It got like 2 stories tall.
It was like that Riley Hickman flip at 411.
That's exactly what I thought
mean,
when he did that in qualifying at 411. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, God, it was one of those like it dug in that black dirt and just right over the top. So
it was a wild ride for sure.
Rough deal for him, obviously. He's kind of a contender in the points, was leading early, and he ended up finishing 14th in a backup on Friday night, so good for him on that. But, yeah, definitely sketchy. Glad he was okay. Didn't get to watch much Friday night. I went out to a little Brazilian steakhouse. For those of you that hadn't been, I'd highly recommend it. They just bring you the meat. Do not go to the salad bar. It's a scam. Just sit there, leave your card green, and eat all the meat. But other than that, only other note Friday was T-Mac did appear to show up in a Longhorn? I don't know. I got to read into that a little bit more. I just heard that on the broadcast Saturday night that he rolled out the Longhorn, and I was like, I thought we were a Rocket One House Car .2. I mean, wasn't that the plan with Boom, JP?
I think so.
Yeah, I
believe so.
I don't know what happened there. So, I didn't know if you had any insight on that, but something happened there. McCready did not do too hot, finished 21st. They had 42 cars showed up there Friday night for that. So, other than that, top fives that mattered. Ethan Dotson, like you said, got the win over Ricky Thornton Jr. Pretty good race. Brian Shirley, Brandon Shepard, Tyler Erb. Bobby Pierce was in 6th behind Tyler Erb. So maybe Tyler Erb, you talked about Dotson getting the win. Shepard being in top 5, that's big time. He's been doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe he just need to get back to Illinois, Iowa area to get something together. But good to see some of them guys doing better that needed to. So I think Friday was the same night that – did you see Bronson talking about goat piss on the tires?
No, I have not seen that, but that sounds like something he said.
So I guess he bought his wife or something, some goats, girlfriend, whatever, his significant other, some goats, and Hannah Newhouse was asking him in the infield, like, in the interview, something about the goats, I guess. I think it was Hannah Newhouse, and he was like, yeah, well, y'all over here say I'm doping tires. I think that's when it was. I really don't know. I just saw this video yesterday. It was hilarious, and he's like,
I'm
well.
pretty sure that's an old video, though.
Okay.
Actually, now
Well,
that you say
correct
that.
me. That's what I said. That's good. But it was hilarious. I thought it was this weekend. I was like, that is funny. But yeah, something about, he's like, yeah, I just bought some goats because y'all get me for doping tires. So I just got some goat piss and soak them. I was like, that's pretty good. But anyway, Saturday night, I did get to watch most race Saturday night. They are running the Illini 100. First of all, it's cool. They had the midgets. D-Wat, have you ever seen midgets?
Not in person.
That's what I thought. I was thinking about
They're
that.
insane. We've only seen them the one time at the Dome, but those
Yeah.
are just wild.
I mean, you have seen the micro sprints for sure back in the day when they used to travel with the USCS or the Carolina sprint cars or whatever that used to go like Cleveland. We definitely saw them at Cleveland. Micro sprints are kind of similar-ish as far as racing goes. But the midgets, no wing, just absolutely slinging it and winging it. That's cool. I like that they have the different classes. One thing I was a big fan of there at the Illini 100, it was like supers and then modifieds and midgets. So you're not confused on classes when they roll out. As y'all know here, we have the 602s, the 603s, the 604s, and then the limiteds and the supers. And then we have the supers that aren't supers, too. So,
sportsman.
yeah, if you show up at the right Tennessee track, you get 6 late model classes, and you have no idea. So I did like that for their show. Definitely made it long for World of Outlaws. I talk a lot in here about Dirt Vision having good, concise shows, but it made it long for sure. But that was cool. So before we get to talking about this race, so I all weekend I keep hearing Illini 100, Illini 100. How many laps would y'all think the Illini 100 is?
100.
You would think it's 100, but it's not.
It's not 100 laps. I was like the thing started. They never talked about it, honestly. But the thing starts, and I look up in the corner on Dirt Vision. It's like lap 2 out of 60. And I was like, the hell? I was like, that says Illini 100. What? So yeah, 60-lap race. I don't know what happened there. Was that one of the maybe used to be 100 and they cut it because tires, fuel.
I don't know.
Nobody wants the fuel stop. I don't know. 60 is probably enough for the race, but call it the Illini 60. I'm sorry. We used to call it what they used to call it race at Tazewell. It was like $25,000 or whatever for Lucas. They called it the Ted Russell 50 or whatever Ford dealer it was, sponsored Toyota, whoever. Like, just call it what it is. Like, don't call it the 100. Like, if you're gonna call it the 100, it's got to be 100. I think the Hillbilly 100 also changed from being 100 laps. And like, I know that your brand's kind of built on that, but like, if you're gonna run it, run 100. If you need a halfway fuel stop. Let them pit. I mean, honestly, this was my question, and JP probably is gonna have an opinion on this. Do you think these guys are enough that they could run a pit stop in a dirt late model if they really wanted to at the top level?
I mean,
like, you give them 30 seconds.
I feel like you could have a pit stop, but I don't know that you could have like a NASCAR competitive, where you can pass in pit lane. But I think they have the crews and the equipment to where they could do a quick pit stop, put tires or fuel in or whatever.
I'm just saying, like, and you can do it. Obviously, you're allowed to do it. I think, unless I don't know, the tire rules changed here and there on this, and sometimes you can only change if it's flat. But like a race like that, I think if you tell them, hey, if you want to sell the tires, come in and get it if you want it. Like, if you run 100 laps, and there's probably going to have to be a halfway fuel stop, I would imagine. I think 100 be pushing on fuel. But, like, hey, if they want to come pit, there's a caution 30 laps in, they want to come get tires, then send them out. Probably whatever order they came in out of the guys that stopped, put them at the back. Obviously, I mean, I don't think that they should keep their spot, but if people don't pit, but I don't know. Run a 100-lap race. Figure out what you got to do. Run a 100-lap race. Halfway break, whatever you want to call it. Fuel stop. I don't care, but run a 100-lap race and call it 100 laps. Can I get an amen?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. I figured y'all be on my team. Somebody on TikTok will tell me, no, we can't race 100 laps. No, it's too much. They ran it in the last 30 laps of the Cars Tour race, so it wouldn't be too long. Just want to let y'all know. Anyways, this was an absolute banger of a race, in my opinion. They did not track prep this thing. And while this was going on, they're track prepping at Wheatland, which we'll talk about next. And, I mean, I was kind of worried because, they race the midgets, and usually when they do the midgets, they fluff it up pretty good, and they tear it up, and they build a little bit of a cushion, so you just don't really know what you're going to get. Track had good character. You can run the top or the bottom. It was a pretty good race there for the first 30 laps or so. Brandon Shepard, boys, he's back. I know y'all weren't watching
About
probably.
time he got a win.
But he is back. He was on it. Moran was running good and maybe going to run him down. And, he, half spun with, 35, lap 35, something like that, maybe 20 to go. And the caution came out, and then he parked it. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he blew up, had a rear end problem, had a tire problem. I don't know, but he parked it. That was kind of sad. After the restart on that, Booby Pierce decided he was going to try to make a run at old Shepard, and he just didn't have it. I mean, Shepard had a better car and outran him, and Bobby was kind of so Shepard gets the win. He's in victory lane. They interview him. He looks super pumped. This dude's shaking in his car, one of these, helmet shaking and all that, which is not something you've seen out of Brandon Shepard in the last 5 years winning a race. You know what I mean? It's been a long time. I don't even know the last time he won. I mean, this is his first win back in the Rocket 1, correct?
I think so, yeah.
So they're probably 30 races in at this point from the beginning of the year, something like that. So glad to see him back in it. The sport needs him back in it. We have seen the decline of the Rocket chassis to Longhorn here. Unfortunately, the T-Mac switching back, that's kind of a big deal. And then for them to go out and get a win right after that's probably a big deal. I think the sport's better when there's more chassis. I mean, I would even like to see, some of the smaller ones come back and do something. But I really think that dynamics thing for Longhorn, the shock program, is making a big difference. Where it's live support, from my understanding. You can basically be at the track and call in, and they'll essentially give you shock settings. So, I don't know, but it's good to see Shepard back get in victory lane, which is interesting for me. I'm one of the guys that kind of always hated Rocket for whatever reason. I don't know, just didn't like Rocket 1 that much, but good to see them back up there doing good, and, competition's always a good thing. So, congrats to them guys. I'm sure they'll be back up there, and we'll see what he's got going forwards when we get out of Illinois. Other than that, this is what I want to say about Bobby Pierce. I started there. I was going to get back to it. So, at the end of this race, Booby's like, well, it's just hard to know if you're racing him for the win or if he's a lap down. And I was like, damn. I mean, isn't that a little low blow? Calling him a lapper?
Damn.
I mean, he's like, well, they know they've been bad. And I was like, yeah, but I mean, they're not that bad. And they weren't going to stay that bad for long. And you want to talk like that, don't be mad when they start beating that ass either. So, Bobby's obviously had a pretty good run to start the year, and Shepard hasn't. So, curious to see what happens on that swing. Can Bobby push his all the ways through? I don't know what the points are. I'm going to pull them up real quick for the Outlaws, but good to see them get a race in, obviously, after they got rained out at Atomic last weekend. So, let's see. Driver points. Bobby Pierce is the leader over Ryan Gus, Nick Hoffman, Drake Troutman, and your boy Ethan Dotson. Cody Overton back to 6th. I don't know. We'll see what happens there for old Bobby. He's got a 66-point lead. Hoffman and Gustin are actually tied for 2nd. So, but I guess Gustin gets the tiebreaker because of the win. So, we'll see what happens there. Their next race is Talladega. Not Easter weekend, but the one after. Friday and Saturday, Alabama Gang 100 weekend. Hold on a minute. I'm going to tell you right now if it's a 100-lap race, or we're going to need to go ahead and dump on them about this. There's no way it's 100 laps down there, right?
There's no way.
It doesn't happen. D-Wat, you don't know this probably, but me and JP did single-handedly get some of these things changed on the World of Outlaws
No.
website. No joke. Because I came in here, and that whole thing at Smoky Mountain when they only ran 35 laps.
That's short. That's
Yeah,
very
it's short. Hopefully they're not running 35 laps down there. Anyways, what we're going to have to talk about is, are we making a trip to Talladega? Because I think old Cleater McSkeeter is supposed to be at Talladega.
Go to the Arca, then go to the. Just hit them all down. Just go to one.
Yeah.
Go to all.
JP, we were talking about it yesterday. I don't know the schedule, but, this could be a 2-day, 4-race kind of situation at Talladega.
Lord.
I know you'd be interested. I'm assuming that ARCA race is probably on Friday. I'm trying to look right now. April. ARCA Menards Series, April 26th at 11:30 a.m. That's on Saturday.
I'll do a double on Saturday, I guess.
Yeah. Xfinity Series at 3.
Yeah, okay.
And then we could hit the World of Outlaws Saturday night at Dirt Track. And then turn around Sunday, go back for the Cup race. Man.
That's a busy
Oh,
weekend.
that's a lot of racing. We can camp in a tent. Just
Yeah.
stay there. Free
Yeah.
camping at Talladega. So
Hey, we're ready to go.
there's no hotels there. I can tell you that. But
Yeah,
that's
I
a
know.
lot of laps. But that might we'll have to talk about it. See what the deal is. But the way we've been buying tickets for $0.00, we might as well just go. Anyways, all right, moving on from that. Congratulations to Bobby. Brandon Shepard on the win. Also, Dotson, JP's boy. So it's good to see both them guys stepping it up, getting into it. Spring Nationals at Bristol Motor Speedway, an unsanctioned race. Like I said, essentially this was it was pretty much a Lucas race.
Warm-up race.
Yeah, they got to get tuned up. This is I think Saturday was $20K to win, so good money for these guys to show up. Some of these guys I was expecting to go to run that spring thaw. I guess they weren't going to go either way. Friday night, Hudson O'Neal gets the win over JD for $7,000 in the prelim. They had 43 cars. I did want to point out, JP, oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I had the wrong name. I thought your boy Mercado was there, but he was not. I'm an idiot. But yeah, so good show there. Trevor Gundaker was terrible. I don't know what his deal was. Them Gundaker boys, they just ain't done much lately. They got hot there for a minute. They really hadn't done anything in a while, so that kind of sucks. But 43 cars. He had 43 cars and 43 cars or something like that for Lucas World Outlaws. Both of them had 40-plus fields for $20K. Good fields of cars all over the place. They also had Southern All-Star races, which I kind of talked about last week. Supers racing all over the place for a lot of money. So good to see all these big fields for that. Like I said, I didn't watch it Friday night. I was out. Hudson got the win. Does that surprise either of y'all?
Not that he won, but I went back and watched the highlights, and I thought I had dyslexia for a minute because the car said 71. I thought it said 17M the way he was on the bottom the whole race. I've never seen Hudson O'Neal drive the bottom. I don't know if I'm crazy. I thought he was a send it kind of driver, but I guess not.
Yeah. Was it one line lockdown?
No, it really wasn't. Davenport was on the top. Overton was on the top, but Hudson just stayed on the bottom and drove by him.
Got to rotate and got her hammer down. I guess that's good for him. He's had a solid year. He's 5-6 wins on the year, so good for him on that. But JD getting a second. He is the king of seconds this year at this point. I don't know if anybody has more seconds. People got more wins, but I don't know if anybody's got more seconds. So Saturday night, we go back into it, and I did get to watch Saturday night pretty well. Davenport on the pole again after being on the pole Friday night, choking it, and choked it again just for the record. Heats, didn't watch that. They had the track prep 900, is what I put in the notes as I was watching it. That was the one they started the track prep in the middle of that first car store race, and dude, they track prep for I probably almost 2 hours for a 60-lap race, and I was like, I don't know. You know how it goes. But a track prep watching is allowed because we're keeping track of that. That's kind of like me and JP's thing now is, because there's some idiots on X. So track prep is allowed at Wheatland. That way when everybody's kind of started hitting us up on X, kind of like, they asked Bob Pockerice about lights. Is track prep watching allowed at each track? So it is there at Wheatland. So congratulations on that. On the initial start, Brandon Overton from the outside just absolutely rips Davenport off turn 2, and I'm like, oh no. Basically ran away with it. For the first 20 laps, top line dominant, everybody running up there. Then they kind of switch. comes bottom line dominant with 20 to go. Basically, 71 ends up getting around the 76. Hudson O'Neal passes Overton, ends up kind of driving past him and going away with it. Gets the win again. The one that did sneak up there was Mike Marlar in the Xfinity chassis there. Did slide into third. He's really getting that thing dialed in. I expect to see them getting some wins this year. Probably be a threat. I would assume they'll be at Tazewell this weekend, so be looking for him to do good there. Did y'all see he's back in a white?
That's ugly. I can't. It's the ugliest race car I've ever seen.
It's white and gold. It's like white with gold on the door panels. It's not my thing. I'm wearing my Mike Marlar shirt. Okay. I love you, Mikey, but let's go back to a blue car or something. I don't know. I was okay with the black one. I don't know.
The black one was fine, but the
even
white
plain white with red would be okay, but the gold, I'm just not. I don't know if that's the whole Burnig's team or whatever thing. I don't know what that is, but hopefully we'll do something about that. We'll see what happens. But them Xfinity chassis are on it for him, apparently. Wells Motorsports, obviously they're pretty good around here. Other than that, not a whole lot of comments on that. I guess y'all don't have nothing else.
No.
We're really getting the time here. I'm going to run through these. Southern All-Stars were at Penton, Alabama, and Winder, Georgia. I told you Winder, I had never been there. Corey Hedgecock in 23V gets the win on Friday at Penton, Alabama. Said he hadn't raced there since 2016. Gets the win. It's like $7,000, I think. And then Dylan Tidmore wins $5K on Saturday at the Winder Barrow Speedway. They had 19 cars both nights for the Southern All-Stars at this point. That's about all they're going to pull, I suppose. So, kind of interesting there. Dylan Tidmore did finish second to Hedgecock on Friday, so he had a really good weekend. He's one of them Alabama natives down there from the TST. Probably looking to put together a good run, I would say, going into the Alabama Gang 100 weekend. So we'll see what gets done there. Crate race in USA was at Screven. Somebody got the win that I never heard of. There was no names in that series that were familiar when I looked through that. All-Star doubleheader that got moved to this weekend for the All-Star series there, Crate All-Stars. I'm assuming they just didn't want to go up against Crate Race in USA. They also had UCRA at North Georgia. Big Crate Race, Dalton Wilson.
Called it.
Yeah, JP nailed it. They had a $50,000 to win, 602 late model race at Fayetteville Motor Speedway. Only pulled 57 cars. I actually thought that number would be higher, frankly. But, they had, like I said, Dalton Wilson shows up, kind of gets in there, steals the money. Interesting names there. Kenny Collins finishes in third in that race. And I really was pretty happy. There really wasn't a whole lot of guys that ran down, to go run a 602. Ross Bales finished like 23rd, something like that. But Benji Hicks, that was the other one. They did start 30, though, JP. I know we talked about that last week. They did start 30, which that's a lot of cars. So I'm sure that was a cool deal, good race to go to. But it is what it is. So, all right, that about shuts it down for dirt. This weekend we got Spring Nationals I-75, $10,000 to win Friday night with the 602 Red Clay Late Model Series. I might go. We'll see.
That's
I
a
don't
good
know.
payout. 10K. That's good.
Yeah, well, and it's 10K with 21 on Saturday at Tazewell. So, like, I think you're gonna have a good car count. No Lucas, no Word Outlaws. I'm hoping this is a big time show. Some of these national tour guys like to run Tazewell in particular. I-75.
Get that big motor out, son.
Yeah, so qualifying at Tazewell, if you've been, qualifying at Tazewell is one of the craziest things you can ever watch at a dirt track. So, but I think it'd be, good race there. Also having the 602s in there, you're going to get all sportsmen from around that run those motors or whatever that can. So, probably a pretty good show. We can probably watch our boy. What do you think old Drew Hickman will be in that? Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
It's so weird.
It'll definitely be at I-75.
It's so weird to see it not be Riley, but it is what it is. So, we'll see what happens there. Tazewell's got 21,000 to win, 70 laps at Tazewell Speedway, boys. You better have them tires ready to change because 70 laps at Tazewell.
You'll be burning them up.
Dude, they cut some tires up there too. There's a lot of rocks in that track, so we'll see what happens there. But that one's gonna be coupled with a $2,500 to win Enduro 100 lapper.
Out of all the tracks to watch an Enduro race where somebody might die, that's the one to watch.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain to our NASCAR friend today about how sketchy these Enduro races are, and he was like, what do you mean they don't throw a caution? I was like, I mean, you just sit there and watch people drive at your door. And he was like, nah. I was like, yeah. He's like, nah, I'm out. But, yeah, so I don't know if y'all want to go to Junkyard Friday or something. I guess we can try it. 100 laps, that's a lot of laps for a race at Tazewell. So you better not have a blown-up junkyard motor. It better be a good solid one ready to go. So we'll see what happens there. But I wouldn't mind to go Saturday night before Easter, though. I don't know. But that'll be on Flow. Both those races will be on Flow. If you don't go, be sure to watch those. The Mars Series 10K. 34 Raceway somewhere in Illinois. Southern Thunders at Southern Raceway for 10K, and the Ironman Late Model Series, old Christopher Tilley, running Eldora for 5K. So I guess they'll be up there getting ready for a little bit of Eldora action coming up, but we'll see what happens. I'm expecting a big car count for the Southern Nationals this week. Hopefully the weather stays nice, sunny, no rain, and they can get good car counts. I'd love to see a big car count at Tazewell. If you have been there, which y'all both have, you know it is hard to fit a lot of cars in the pits up there because there's just not that much room. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing this weekend, but somehow if I can squeeze it, I will. Probably be too late. I have to take old little man, so that'd probably be too much for him. But we might go. He could probably do I-75 on Friday, so I'll let y'all know. Except, D-Wat, he's on
Good Friday.
probation.
I'm off Friday.
Nah, you're on probation for going to racetracks for a minute. You got other things you need to focus on. Anyways, all right, moving on. Bristol Motor Speedway. I was concerned because we didn't have a lot of time left, but to be honest, there wasn't a lot to talk about, so I guess that's good. Trucks, I didn't watch again. This is on Friday night. Chandler Smith wins over Kyle Larson. JP, did you watch any of it?
I did not catch any of
Okay,
it.
well, we already discussed that D-Wat was down at the Five Flags Speedway while this race was going on, so clearly he didn't watch it, but basically what I picked up in the highlights and then from scrolling X is that 07 truck must just be ass because Kyle Larson didn't win in it. He did finish second. Chandler's good there. Chandler Smith, I think he's one of them guys, man. Like, I think he just needs to race whatever he can race. I know, like, at the end of last year, he seemed a little discouraged. What do y'all think his, like, overall? I mean, do you think he has a chance to make it in the Cup Series, D-Wat?
Yeah, I feel like so, yeah.
I mean, I just feel like if he gets in good equipment and can get a little confidence, I feel like he doesn't have much of that going on for him.
Yeah.
His deal he ran a Cup race at Daytona, wrecked it in the 66 car there, in the qualifying, the duels or whatever, and tore that up. I think that probably ruined his opportunity a little bit because he's been a little over aggressive, and I think he just needs to calm down and just drive whatever he can drive. Cars Tour, truck, Xfinity, whatever. So glad to see him kind of get a mix, but good to see him get the win there. So we'll see what happens going on. Kyle Larson obviously loses that race, misses out on the trip, but that pretty much guaranteed he was going to win the next two. So moving on. Xfinity race on Saturday. Kyle Larson qualifies on the pole. No shock there. Pretty much dominated this race, best I could see. Did y'all see the paint scheme on the one-car quaffle?
I did not see it.
I did not see it.
It was a High Rock vodka, and it was almost like a Busch light-looking car, but it had orange trim and like blaze orange numbers, and I want a T-shirt. I was a big fan of it. Blaze orange, y'all know that's my thing. So I was all about it, loved it, thought it was a great-looking car. Other than that, race was what it was. I was in here trying to set up my new little background area and move my computers and all that crap. So, like, I was kind of watching it, kind of not. But basically, Larson just dominated the race. There was a little bit going on. Nobody got too trashy. Sheldon Creed spins out. Like, this is in stage one. And you want to talk about arc brakes of the dadgum century, bro. I mean, it was like 7 seconds later, Brennan Poole comes in wide open.
Pounded him.
I mean, that was scary looking. The Delta on that one, we talk about the Delta. I mean, Creed was completely stopped. And, Brennan Poole, I don't know what his spotter's doing. I don't know what he's doing. If he needs a spotter, call me because I could have got you slowed down before that one, bro. I mean, I'm sorry. I hope he was having radio trouble. I haven't listened to the DBC podcast. I'm sure we're going to hear about it tomorrow. I would say that would be on there. What they call it now? Idiot of the Week or Dumbass Hall of Fame or something like that. That's definitely going to be in there, and it should be. Glad nobody got hurt. That was a sketchy wreck. Did you see how it just broke the rear end?
Yeah, it just destroyed the car.
Like,
I mean,
cracked it, pulled the tire out, still attached to the axle and the housing and everything. So that was wild. Glad he's all right. Dean Thompson was the one that turned Sheldon Creed. Dean Thompson's been turning a lot of people. I don't know exactly what he's doing, but he must have some money behind him. Stan Mayer ends up winning stage 1 after staying out there kind of at the end. Larson goes on to win stage 2 under that caution or something. Allgaier did get around KL there. And KL pulled up on that bumper and he said, and knocked his ass right on out of the way. I don't know if y'all saw that, but if you did not see that, he hit him pretty hard. I mean, actually. I think he's been running cup cars too much. He's just piling, driving it into somebody, then downshifting and driving away.
Yeah.
And he hit Allgaier pretty good, and if it would have been somebody less experienced, they would have spun. So, that works out. Then there was another caution late. Somehow, like, Allgaier's lapping a guy, and the dude spins off his door. I don't really understand how that happened, but it did happen. End up with a later restart, but Larson goes on, dominates, pulls away, wins. I don't know if y'all seen, but he said on the Happy Harvick podcast that he runs Xfinity races to beat guys by 10 seconds. That's what he said.
He wants to embarrass them.
He said that's his goal, to teach him. So at least we know what he's doing, and that should tell you how bad that truck is. And that's also why you see him drive the balls off of it all the time. And like in those Xfinity races, he does not hold back at all.
Yeah.
So other than that, moving into the Cup race Sunday, I was there. D-Wat, you were there. Did you take any notes for this podcast, knowing you were coming on?
No, I did not.
Slacker, you're fired. Day 1.
Here's your notes. You ready? They thought the tire was going to wear. Larson saw they weren't wearing. He's gone.
I guess I saw what you could see.
Yeah, it is what it is. This is like the highlights for me. 60 laps in the race the first time somebody goes a lap down. We should be lapping cars at Bristol in 30 laps. That to me tells you all you need to know. I'm not going to knock Bristol Motor Speedway, and I'm not knocking the drivers, but these cars are terrible. I'm not knocking Goodyear either, because all I've heard for the last 24 hours, if it had been 15 degrees cooler, these tires would have fell off. Well, that's just, I don't know, man. They're in a box. Like, Goodyear's doing everything they can, but it sounds to me like, from everything I'm hearing from the media, that Goodyear basically would have to, like, redo their entire assembly line to make tires softer. And, like, really, they don't need softer tires. I know this is a wild concept, but it turns out
more horsepower.
If you take torque and you put, I'm trying not to use the horsepower word, but if you put more torque on the tire, there's more friction equals more tire wear. Like if you do the equations here, and then usually when you solve for the unknown to have more torque, the HP number is usually what needs to go up. So do what you want, NASCAR. I don't know. The other option is, I don't know. We'll talk about that at the end. Let's just get through the race and we'll go through there. Logano goes a lap down first stage. Does not get a lucky dog. Never recovers. Early in this race, he goes a lap down. He was slow. I don't know what his deal was. Basically, other than Blaney, all the Penske cars were slow, including Barry, which I really thought Barry would, be decent in this race. Stage 2, we have a caution, the only natural caution of a 500-lap race at Bristol. SVG gets loose under Josh Bilicki. And ends up spinning out. That pulled out the caution. That's like 180. So the stage thing was, JP, we talked about stages last week, and they actually took my advice, went 125, 250. But that caution 180, everybody's like, got to pit. Well, some guys did not pit. A lot of them did not pit. But Blaney came down pit road. Byron came down pit road. Chase. And there's probably 5 or 6 other guys came down pit road that were on the lead lap, pitted. And I was like, genius, especially Blaney, because Blaney's car was good. I was like, this is a genius move. Blaney's crew chief, what's his name? I don't know why I can't think of his name.
Is it Tim?
Come on, you're a Blaney fan. No, that's a spotter. That's a spotter.
Yeah, that's a spotter.
I don't know why I can't think of his name. Anyways, comes down. I'm thinking, okay, so then the stage, they're going to go 2. Take the lead. Like I thought that was the plan here to pit, because the tires are clearly lasting forever. Like JP said, they end up basically Larson just mashes the gas. I didn't catch it when we were there, but basically when I went back and saw is they were running like second slower lap time at the start of this race, like 40% throttle off the corner, like barely going anywhere, trying to save tires.
The TV broadcast, they were all like Larson said in his interview, I don't know if y'all have heard it at the track.
No.
He was like saying he was looking for the track and he saw it finally, getting darker and taking rubber and not shredding tires. And he was like, at that point, it would just go.
Yeah.
And that's what most everybody said.
That's kind of what they said on the radio broadcast, which I was listening on the scanner for most of the race. So they were like, well, it looks like it's taking rubber, and then everybody went. So, yeah, I don't know. It was what it was on that. So then they come in at the end of stage 2. Larson wins stage 2. Blaney's like 8th, and I'm like, okay, Blaney's going 2 tires. He's taking the lead right here. I'm watching him pit. He was on our side of pit road, and as soon as they went around the left side of the car, I'm like, what are we doing? I thought this is our chance. Clearly, nobody's able to pass, really. I mean, I'm nothing against Larson. I don't know that he was that good. I just don't think you can pass. And you're having to run the top pretty much. And, anyways, so Blaney ends up taking 4 like an idiot as far as I'm concerned. I think all them guys that pitted there probably should have taken 2, given how long the tires went. And we'll talk about how I'm 100% sure on that after Blaney went 177 laps on a set of 4. I'm sure he could have done taking the lead, pitted with everybody else, and just put 177 on those lefts. You know what I mean? I think he would have been fine. But anyways, other than that, during the stage 3 break, JP, let me tell you about this thing of beauty I seen from old D-Wat. All right?
Yeah, this is good.
He's got the piss strategy down at Bristol Motor Speedway. So we're sitting 2 rows down from the steps, right? Like you come through the thing, 1, 2, here's our seats on the end. Worked out great. We bought these things on StubHub, and that's what we got. Super lucky. Anyways, so 1 to go in the stage. This boy is just hightailing it up the stairs. Beats the whole crowd to the pisser. The whole crowd. He's the first one in there. And as soon as he gets in there, he comes back, and, dude, they don't even have any pitted yet, and he's already sitting back in the seat. Didn't miss the pits or nothing. So
listening over the years, man. You get those long lines at the bathroom.
Yeah.
I
mean, I feel like I've got the concession stand one down pretty good, but this man right here had it on the pit strategy. Now, it depends how much beer you've been drinking, how much control you got over the situation. But for those of you that want to know, when they close pit road, that's when it's time for you to take a pit stop in the bathroom. Okay, that's basically how it works. Is that fair, D-Want? Is that a fair explanation? When you see the pit road lights flash red, that's your sign to go to the bathroom, right? Unless it's going to be close, I guess, coming to the flag. But he absolutely nailed it. I want to give you a 10 for 10 performance. Good job. Everybody should pay attention. Hopefully this is our best TikTok of the week, okay? Good job there. While we're talking about stuff other than the race, sometime in the middle of stage 3, I look down, and I don't know if you've seen it, but I tried to point, but this dude is sitting like 3 or 4 rows, and then to the right. This mug pulls out a salad.
What?
A salad!
At a racetrack?
At the racetrack. Not a woman. Not a woman. A guy with long hair.
Yeah.
And I was like,
needs to go back to another racetrack in his life.
I was like, who in the hell is eating a salad at Bristol? Good God. Sorry, Food City. They probably sold some at those little Food City gas station things or something, but good God, bro. That just, no, if you eat salad at a racetrack, just go home. I mean, good God. Like, I can't say what I really want to say because I'm not trying to get kicked off the internet, but, like, if I see a male eating a salad at a racetrack, I just assume that he's not my kind of guy. It's not okay. I'm personally offended. Like, I would rather somebody smoke a cigarette next to me, ask me to take a puff, than eat a salad in front of me at the racetrack. No chicken on it, nothing. Salad, light ranch dressing. I get it. I've been on a diet, okay? I'm not on a diet right now. I've been on a diet before. Lost a little weight one time. But here's the deal. You still got to eat food at the racetrack. Like, you can't eat a salad with light ranch dressing at the racetrack. I don't care who you are. It's not okay. Unacceptable behavior, and I hope they pull his NASCAR hard card. There was only 12 people at the race anyway, so we're not hurting if we miss him last week. Anyways, one thing I noticed, I started to look because, track temperature thing, and I put in the notes here. I don't know if y'all got pulled up, but about halfway through the third stage, turn 2 was completely shaded. The backstretch was shaded. Entry to 3 was shaded. They said the track temp needed to be below like 88 degrees, basically, for the tires to fall off. If they'd have started this race 4 or 5 hours later, 2 hours later, probably would have been enough to where I think at the end you might have had some tire wear, but obviously they didn't do it. But that's why that's in the notes. So, Anyways, lap 300, Bowman starts blowing up. I don't know exactly what happens. He had smoke coming out the left side only. I would assume he dropped the valve more than likely.
Something like that.
It was basically whenever he was lifting, going in the corners when it was smoking. So I just assumed it was a valve, white smoking. But he ends up pulling in. They did not fix it. They kept talking on the radio like he was going to fix it. Didn't fix it. Lap 424, Ryan Blaney becomes the only car on the lead lap.
Yeah, that was unique. He stayed
That
out.
was wild.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're listening to on your scanner, but I was listening to radio, and these idiots thought he was racing Bubba and Reddick as he's lapping them. I'm like, guys, they are in first, they're in second and third, but he is lapping them. Like, that's where we're at. Really interesting pit call. Congratulations to them. I think that's a good pit call. It didn't work out, but I mean, that's not. How often do you see the whole field a lap down? Not often.
Not often.
Not often.
So I think it was a good move. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. They needed to tell somebody to scratch an elbow or something. I mean, I don't know. If I was him, because this is NASCAR, you don't get sent to the back. I'd been real tempted to spin a lap car. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's only like 2 cars 1 lap down.
Yeah.
Everybody else was 2 laps down, which means they can only wave 1 lap. So, like, you spin them out, you pit, you're third at worst. You know what I mean? Like, and third with 60 lap fresher tires and everybody. So, given the NASCAR thing, for me, I would have been really tempted to just spin somebody for the yellow, honestly. If I was going to pull a Robbie Gordon and throw a water bottle out the window for a caution, that would have been the time, too. So, I don't know. I thought it was a good strategy for them. Blaney ends up pitting like 20 laps later. Stayed on the lead lap. I started watching his split times there. That's why they're in the notes too. He cut a second down in the first 5 laps, then it kind of leveled off. He ended up finishing. I don't have it pulled up. Where'd it go? He ended up finishing pretty decent, if I remember, like 7th. D-Wat, that's your boy. You should know where he finished.
Yeah, 7th, top 10, I believe it was 7th.
It was definitely top 10. It might have been top 5. That's what I can't remember. I got it right here. He finished 5th. Got around William Byron there at the end, and William Byron was kind of on the same strategy as him. Should have also probably stayed out with him and didn't. So, real big, props, I guess, to the 12 team for always having a different strategy. I like that. Jonathan Hassler. That's crew chief. Shout out Jonathan Hassler for doing something different. I like it. Should have taken 2 tires, but it is what it is. Anyways, Larson ends up dominating this race. It's gone 1 natural caution at Bristol Motor Speedway in 500 laps.
Remember when they had like a 19 caution race there?
I remember when they had 20. Snoozer, man. Like, I don't know. I guess, like, I feel like, we've been enough to have an opinion. Some people's like, you can't say nothing. My opinion is I put my butt in the seat. How many you put your butt in the seat for in a row now?
12, 11.
Okay, so you paid your money 12 races in a row, 5-6 years now. You're allowed to say it. It's a snooze fest. Yeah. Do you want to spend the money to go back and watch that next year?
As a fan,
for the racing, no, right? I mean,
experience and atmosphere, yes.
Yeah, Bristol's still number 1, right? Like, I love Bristol, and it's still my favorite place to go. But like, I was trying to tell somebody that you can't take somebody to their first race there now. Like, it's awful. Yeah. Unfortunately, me and you also went to that Martinsville race, first ever next gen short track race, and we didn't know what to think when we left there. I mean, I remember there was like 3 cautions there, 2 or 3, and like nobody could pass anybody, no bumping, nothing, and I don't know. We hadn't fixed it. Tire wear's not the answer. Sorry, I think Goodyear's done everything they can do. I don't think tire wear's the answer. They need more power, and it's what it is. So you can either make a new car or you can give more power and try it. To quote the Dennis of Hamlin's of them all, what's it going to hurt if you let us have 851 race?
Yeah.
I mean, and if you're going to do it, I think Bristol would have been a good place to do it. I really think if I was them, I know it's very, very short at this point in time, but the All-Star race at Wilkesboro would probably also be a really good place to try it. There's no points on the line. It's an All-Star race. There's always been temporary rules. I don't know how hard it would be for them to make that power. I know that they say it would be harder than we think. Half of me not half of me. All of me knows that if the top teams want to do it, Hendrick can have a 800 horsepower, 900 horsepower motor ready to go next week, and they're 4 cars. I don't know they can have them for the rest of the field, which they're supplying for Chevrolet at this point, but they can. I would assume that Roush Yates engines probably can do the same thing for the Fords. Toyota. I mean, how hard can it be to go back? I mean, did they sell all the motors we had? Are they all gone? I mean, I'm assuming those things are sitting in a warehouse somewhere, honestly, because there's nothing else to do with them. You know what I mean? I know that I will say this. I have seen some of those Hendrick motors like for sale out of Cup Cars, like on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. But I would imagine that that's not all of them. So I don't know. I'd like to see them try it. I feel like that's the only thing they can do. I don't know if I said it on the podcast last week. I was supposed to go back and listen to it and find out. If I didn't, JP, I think we at least talked about it. But the fact is, they're going to end up putting turbos, superchargers, hybrid, whatever, and then they're going to give us more torque and then call it more power, and we'll see what happens. But also, you know, I think the easiest thing to do would be make tires skinnier, because right now they're like... They
got the big old sticky, son.
They're like 365 millimeters or something like that wide now. It's like a 14.4. I looked it up. It's like 14.4, and they used to be somewhere between 10 and 12 inches wide. That and independent suspension, less power. They just got too much grip, man. The cars don't slide. Man, I remember the first time we went to Bristol, we sat there in the turn because we were broke. That's where we sat because they used to be cheap there. Apparently they're expensive now. Whatever. But anyways, we sat there, and I remember watching them come off turn 4 and, like, slide the back end every single lap. Jeff Gordon was leading. Matt Kenseth blew a tire, wrecked him. It completely ruined my day. But anyways, I remember watching them. Everybody in the top 5 sideways off the corner every time, pushing as hard as they can. They're just not wheeling these cars. I feel like if you talk to drivers, that's what they say. They're like, I mean, like Kyle Larson, he basically called these cars a turd in his post-race interview. I mean, he did, and after the Xfinity race. So, you know, it is what it is. They just don't go anywhere. So, I don't know. More power, more boost. I mean, maybe we could leave the motors the same, just throw a blower on them. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a car guy, really. I just like racing, but I'm not a mechanic, tech, whatever, but they got to do something, so we'll see what happens there, I suppose. But overall, really nailed the stage links there like I talked about last week, so good on that. Overall weekend score for Bristol from you fellers.
Oh, man.
Out of 10.
I guess race-wise, like atmosphere-wise, the tailgate was great. The drinks.
I'll let you split it for your weekend entertainment. How was it? Let's get that grade first.
Okay, weekend entertainment. I give the weekend entertainment. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
good weather.
Yeah, I mean that's in my opinion for what I seen when we were there yesterday. That's as high as you can go, just because there wasn't enough people there to be any higher than that. But everybody was there having a good time. Tailgating's great, weather's perfect, sunny. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's nice, man. It's the best place to go just to hang out for a race. But race wise,
2 out of 10.
I don't even know that I can give it a 2, bro. 0.13. That's what I'm gonna stick with. JP,
I give it a 0.5 for Kyle Larson.
Okay, well there you go. I don't know, man. Like I don't know what the answer is on this. I guess I'm always on this podcast to make some bold solutions. So I got a bold solution for a couple tracks that I've really been going over in my head. I'm trying to figure it all out, but I'm done. I'm ready to be done racing at tracks twice a year, at all, basically, including Bristol, which nobody wants to hear that. I'm not the only one that suggested the Bristol thing, but I got some more suggestions we're gonna make. That people have said, just move this Bristol race to Wilkesboro. It's basically the same crowd. They're an hour and a half apart. You can pull get the same fans, whatever. I could go to that from my house still if I wanted to. Same day, come back. It'd be a little bit farther, but you get some more North Carolina people, Virginia people to show up. So go ahead and pull that one for that. And think about this. What if, we raced Darlington last week, and this hit my mind. What if we just go ahead and pull the Darlington first race and just move that to Rockingham? And then we start looking everywhere we go, and we just say, okay, where can I move something close but be at a different track? I don't know that there's that for everywhere. I kind of went through the schedule. You have, like, Vegas. I don't know where else you can race around Vegas. I have no idea. I don't know if you can move a race to Phoenix has 2. I don't know where you can move one there. I don't know if you can move one to like a smaller track, man. Like NASCAR needs to look at going to some smaller facilities. They're not selling 80,000 tickets. Yeah. What if they go to a smaller, like what's that, Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway? Yeah. What if they go out there? I mean, I know they have to put some seats in, bring some temporary stands in, but Dude, if they sell it out and it puts on a good race, it's probably a great time, right? And where else can you do that? You know, and I talked earlier, like Talladega, like they have 2 races there. I get it. I'm kind of okay with the super speedways having one, but kind of not. But if you pull one, try Five Flags.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the short track racing is not what we want it to be. You know, you could take Richmond, you could put it in Kentucky. You know, you can pull try to think West race twice. Kansas, put it in Chicagoland. You know, I don't know. Just figure it out. But I'd rather see sold out races. Bristol, it's not fair. Like today, I went to work and everybody's like, "Dude, I saw on TV. There's nobody there." It's not fair at Bristol. Y'all know.
Yeah.
Like there's 200,000 seats in that place, man. Like it's not fair. You're not gonna sell 200,000 tickets for anything at this point. They can't. I mean, I don't think you could sell 200,000 tickets for Super Bowl if you played it in there. Really, I mean, it wouldn't be full. You could sell them, but it wouldn't be full because these resale groups buy them up and all that. I mean, that's what one thing too. Like we were looking at going. We didn't buy tickets till Saturday, but like, how about same day? Anything that's open in a certain section, $20 a ticket, and see if you get people to show up because they got to figure out a way to get people in there somehow. I don't know what the answer is, but it looks bad on TV. Even though like we were there, I'd probably say 30 to 40,000, but I mean, in 200, that's low percentage, So it looks bad, but I don't know. That place is so big, it's hard to do it. But I mean, I'm fine. I hate to say it, but I'd be fine with running there once a year. If we only ran there once a year, everybody that ever wanted to go would go, and it wouldn't matter what the race was like, you know. And you want it to be a night race, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Playoff race, night race. I mean, I think it'd be wild. So I don't know, just food for thought. Try to figure that out. I might try to look at the schedule this week, put together a dream schedule, maybe for next year, because we're not gonna have a cup race to talk about. So we'll see what happens there.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, y'all got any other overall cup, NASCAR, Xfinity truck opinions we need to talk about? Anything we need to discuss?
No, not really. I don't.
Okay.
I don't have.
Well, this week we got Rockingham Friday for the truck. Saturday is ARCA and Xfinity. Cup Series is off this weekend. This is their last off week. Then they'll run 28 straight to the end. We'll see what happens there. We are rocking and rolling through this season. I guess if it's 28, we're 8 weeks in of points racing. We had 2 non-points races, so we're 10 races in. We're crack-a-lacking per se, so they're about to get busy with it. But guess we'll see what happens there. Looking forward to watching the Rockingham deal. I drove past that track for some years when they weren't racing there, close to my grandparents, doing a little bit of stuff down there, and I used to drive past it sometimes in a rollback. When I was 17. The good times. Definitely highlight. I'm ready to see them race there because of that. Honestly, just driving past, never got to see anything race, but I used to drive past it right on the highway. So looking forward to watching those, see what happens there. Casey Kane making his return to the Xfinity Series in the 33 car for RCR. So we'll see what happens there. Picks last week. 9 versus 9, Ward Outlaws. Hoffman versus T-Mac. Hoffman did get the win. I kind of give you – I almost want to throw that one because T-Mac running a different car was probably not great for you on that one, but sucks to suck. Bulls Gap obviously got rained out, so that one was a push. Trucks, Rajah versus Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs beat Rajah. Xfinity, we both picked Quapple, who did indeed beat Hill, and you took the field. I took Hamlin. Hamlin finished second. He came up 1 spot short, baby. I thought he was going to get there too. That last run off pit road, he was only like not far behind the 5, but he did not get there. So sucks for him. But I did get the win, 3-2. That now makes it 6 weeks to 3 weeks. D-Wat, I did put you a spot in here for the picks. You're not going to be in the season-long contest, but I guess you can maybe win the week. So
there we go.
if anybody, I kind of threw these together. So if anybody protests any of these and you want to change any of them, I guess let me know.
Okay.
I-75 Speedway, 17 in versus the 23B. We'll let JP go first.
I mean, who do you think I'm taking?
Yeah, I figured. All right, just want to double check. Now, JP will be on the Corey Hedgecock train in the BMF chassis.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go, I'm going to go 17M. He's been trying to race for a couple weeks, hadn't got a chance to. I just don't know that. when I say this, I think that this is going to be a really strong field. I don't think Corey's going to be able to win. When he gets back in traffic, he's just not as good. I don't know if it's a confidence thing, but when he's out front, he's good. But when he gets back in traffic, he's not. I'm going to go with McDowell to get the win. On the bottom, at the end, we'll see what happens. I would assume that this should be a good race. Owens probably show up. Marler. I want to say Davenport, but I don't know. You can't ever tell with him. He loves racing Tazewell, though, so
yeah,
we'll see what happens on that. But I'm also, I don't know what Larson's doing this weekend, but there's no way he's not racing this weekend. I'll tell you that. So I don't think he's running late models this year. It doesn't sound like he's interested anytime soon. But Daniel, who?
I'll go with. See, it's tough, but I'll go with 17M. I like Mac Daddy, and I think he'll get it done.
I think that's fair. Tazewell Speedway, like I said earlier, qualifying at Tazewell Speedway, for those of you who don't know, is my most favorite thing to watch. So this is a very interesting pick. If you've been there, I think y'all know who I'm talking about when I put Neely.
You know.
Yeah, this guy, if you know, you know. But this for qualifying, not for the race, for qualifying. Austin Neely versus Jimmy Owens. Austin Neely is not
the 3-car, baby. Give me the 3-car.
I figured you would do that. Austin Neely is he's a local guy from up there in Tazewell. He's sponsored by some people at Tazewell, and I don't know what it is, but he can absolutely, for 2 laps,
put a qualifying lap
mash
down.
it. When you say hammer down, that is Austin Neely in qualifying at Tazewell Speedway. So qualifying is it $2,100 to win the pole? I think it's
so.
like
It's
$1,000. It's something high. It's something high to win the pole for this race because it is something different. This is single car qualifying. They don't even run groups there. So, who you got, D-Wat?
Oh, I love qualifying there, and Owens. I got Owens. He runs good there, and he qualifies well. So I'm gonna go with Owens.
I also thought about throwing David Payne in here just for fun if he shows up, but I'm gonna go with Neely as well. Honestly, I think that's gonna be a pretty good one. I did not change the truck pick, so we're going to have to come back to that. JP, you got the notes up?
Yeah, I do have the
Why
notes
don't you why don't you read the next pick after trucks, and we'll do trucks last so I can figure out who the two's going to be.
Oh, Lord. So for Xfinity, we're going between Connor Zilich and Casey Kane.
Oh, yeah, the rookie versus the old time.
D-Wat, we'll let you go first there on that one.
Zilich. I feel like
I got it.
I go the young. I'll go with Zilich.
Part of me wants to go with him, but I don't know. It's been a minute since Casey Kane's been in NASCAR.
Yeah,
he's been decent in the sprint cars from what I've heard, but I think I have to take the 88 as well.
All right.
What
the
about
88? Me?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all are both picking? Oh, y'all are idiots. Yeah, give me the 33. Give me Casey Kane. This is going to be a tire-saving race. Connor Zilich will wreck. I think this track's going to be really hard to drive. They have not repaved this track. This is a 20-year-old racetrack, hadn't been raced on. Also, interesting thing, just to point out, ARCA is going to race before the Xfinity Series. They're going to be putting that general rubber down on the track. Probably going to be slick to start the Xfinity race. I would expect to see some guys wreck, honestly. I think this track's going to be really hard. I hope it's hot. South Carolina, it's sunny, baby. That's what I'm hoping for. It's in South Carolina, right? Yeah, Rockingham, I think, South Carolina.
I think it's
North Carolina.
No, I think it's North Carolina.
It's right there on the line. I do know that. And I'm sorry if I said the wrong one, but I've been there
don't
clearly.
Know that Casey's gonna have anything. It's been a long time.
Casey Kane drives a sprint car on a weekly basis. What do you mean you don't know if he's gonna have anything?
It's been a minute since he's.
It's gonna be 400 less horsepower, and it's not gonna go straight between his nuts. He'll be fine. Listen,
Whatever.
Casey Kane would not run this race if he hasn't run this in a sim and think he can do something. He's not going to out and embarrass himself. I'm telling y'all, Casey Kane over Connor Zilich.
He's going to embarrass himself.
You tell me how much, I'll bet it. You just let me know when you're ready. So, you just let me know. All right?
Whatever.
All right, ARCA race.
Oh, yeah.
Brent Cruz versus Butterbean Queen. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
This will be interesting. This ARCA race is going to be probably entertaining because this ARCA field is a lot of short track guys, ARCA East in particular. But this is not necessarily a short track. I mean, I don't, what is it, mile and a third, something like that?
Something like that. But it's
So,
going to wear out like a short track.
these
probably,
tires,
with
this is
the
going to be
tires.
tire management, I think, for
Yeah.
them. So,
I'll take Butterbean.
okay.
I like the
That's
mullet
fair.
man. I go with Butterbean. I think I'm on the wagon with him. I'm on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
With
Y'all are on them bandwagons, getting your butts beat. Give me Brent Cruz. No problem there, man. This is an easy walk away right here. McDowell's definitely beating Hedgecock. Corey, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I love you still. My kid will be at the race with your shirt on, but it is what it is. All right, Truck Series, I picked Matt Crafton versus Tom Majeski here. I think will be a good pick. Matt Crafton, the crafty veteran, up against Tom Majeski, who's a pretty good late model racer, and tire wear game. I figure he should be up there in the front. He's had a little bit of rough luck this year in the trucks. Just kind of gets in some junky spots. I don't know if he's not being patient, but I just feel like he's always kind of around somebody that ends up kind of being a knucklehead. So, who you got?
I'll take Mr. iRacing of Ty Majeski.
Man.
Yeah, I don't care for. So I'll go with Ty as well. I don't care for.
You don't care for the guy that's been running trucks for
I don't.
30 years?
No, he's got Menards as a sponsor, but I just can't get behind him. So I'll go with Ty Majeski.
That's all right. This is going to be a walk-away week for me. JP, we have one pick that's the same, right? And the rest of them's different. Phew. This is somebody's getting their butt whooped this weekend. I'm just going to tell you. I kind of want to change my qualifying pick for Tazewell just so we can have everything be different, but I really think it'll be Neely. So he just somehow qualifies in the top 3 there every time. I don't know. It will depend a little bit on the draw probably, but definitely excited to watch that. If y'all have not watched Tazewell, get on Flow. Watch Tazewell, the whole thing. Like it's just wild. It's very narrow, very fast. It makes me miss Cleveland. Is what it makes me miss. Cleveland was kind of like Tazewell, but honestly, Cleveland raced a little bit better, like top to bottom, running the sliders. But definitely excited to see that, and we'll be tuned in Saturday night for that one. So, other than that, I don't got a whole lot more to say. We made it an hour and 21 minutes. Hope some of y'all listen to this on double speed like I would be and will be. But D-Wat, thanks for being here. Hope you had a good time.
Thanks for having me.
And hopefully we'll have you back. I gave JP the option today to take a day off.
No,
it's I've done another podcast before, and it is a grind. Like people don't realize it. We are 14 episodes in this year. I'm having a great time doing it. I don't do this for money. I was on another podcast where my co-host was too focused on trying to make money, and it's more fun just to have a good time with my boys. So I really like having you on here. It's fun to have 3 people, and maybe we'll have you back. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more organized for that. 3's a little different, so I'm going through it. I feel like I could probably do a little better letting y'all talk because I feel like I've talked too much per usual. I got a loud mouth.
We know.
No, yeah, see, they know. This is kind of what it's like, boys, whenever we ride to the racetrack. I just talk the whole time.
Yeah,
so that's loudmouth Casper for you. But other than that, hope y'all have a great week. I have had a good time. Anything else we need to do real quick? I was trying to think. I feel like there was one more thing. Let's go ahead just for shorts and giggles. Winner, Tazewell Speedway.
Winner.
Okay.
All right, I think Marler will probably show up. Owens. 99 maybe. Corey. I don't know.
Corey doesn't like going up there. He doesn't like tearing his junk up.
But he's quit running crates.
That is true.
He has to anyways because he's running the points too for Southern Nationals. I think he's leading it, if I'm not mistaken.
Give me the 23V. I'll go both nights.
I got one for you.
All right.
Give me Owens for the pole. Say wins the pole, and then he'll win the heat race, and then he'll win the feature. Clean sweep.
Owens for the sweep.
All 3 of them.
I hope so. I'd like to see Jimmy do something. He is not. He ain't been doing all that much. Okay, here's your point. So just kind of a hit. Hedgecock is 8th in points for them. Cody Overton leading the points. Will Harrington, Garrett Smith, Ethan Dotson, Dalton Cook, Zach Mitchell, Jordy Nipper. Zach Mitchell, I didn't think about him. He will be a tough runner up there. He's been good everywhere he goes on. He doesn't break. Curious to see if we see a Chris Madden sighting. Hadn't seen him in a couple weeks.
No.
I'm trying to go through this list of guys that race this series. Overton could show up. Tyler Erb could also show up because he kind of likes racing Tazewell, and he is not afraid to drive a damn toter somewhere to race, in case y'all were curious.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I hope for a big car count both nights, and see what happens. Ross Bales will probably also be tough up there, as much as I hate to say it. Y'all know how I feel about him, but we'll see what happens. Other than that, y'all have a great week. Anything for the road?
Nah.
All right, well, hammer down. Thank y'all for listening to the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. Our theme music is Hard as Steel by Alex Productions. Thank you all for listening. Hammering down. Find a good race to watch. We'll see you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, share it with all your friends. We need more 19 views on YouTube. Love y'all. Bye.